My name is Dr. Amaegberi. I'm the Executive Secretary, Bayelsa State Higher Education Students Loan Board. We've done quite a lot of work trying to give out loans to students in tertiary institutions across the country, Bayelsa State students precisely. We have so far done a little above 4,000 students that we have given out loans to, and this includes undergraduate students, postgraduate students, and also those undertaking some professional courses like ICANN, ANAN, and so on. So that's what we've been doing, and we'll keep doing that. We have done well. The government has been very magnanimous, very supportive in providing timely funds with which we have been disbursing this loan to students. Okay, we've just effectively existed for about 2 full years in terms of disbursement of the loans. In 2019, actually, when we started operations, there was no disbursement at that time because the loan scheme had not been officially launched. It was in December of that year it was officially launched. So we commenced full disbursements last year, and between last year and now, we have done quite a lot in terms of the number of students that we have covered. There are challenges everywhere. Government itself is complaining of funds, so funding can only be the only challenge that we have. Government is doing so much, but the number of students that we have in tertiary institutions is quite enormous, and because of the economic downturn, everybody now faces this office to come look for loans. So with the influx of people coming, the funds available is not particularly enough to take care of them all at once as they come. So we now try to segment them, we now try to face them. So that's just basically what the main challenge is. Operationally, we don't have so much of challenge. It's just in terms of funding, but not from. I won't say the government is not doing enough in terms of funding. They have been doing enough, but we are trying to explore other areas of funding. We have made arrangements to engage some multinational companies, and of course our local content board that is here to also assist. So that's where we are. We have not gotten funding from these agencies yet, but we are still engaging, and we are hopeful that they will also support the government to give us some funding to take care of the numerous applications that are pending before us. Okay, the duration for the repayment is actually something that the student would do after he leaves school. Yes, when he leaves school and he starts working, then he will start to repay. But we have also done it in a way that, so we don't continue to be looking at what government is bringing. We try to do it in a manner that the loan will be revolving. So we have, for those students whose parents are public servants or civil servants per se, we try to see how they can repay even while the student is in school, so that by the time the student is even graduating, maybe we'll be owing like a year or 2 years fees that were paid. So that's what we're doing, and I can say now that parents who are civil servants have started paying back. We have gotten some repayments. Those who are in private sector, we have also reached out to them to start paying back, in the way they can. The payment procedure is very flexible. Nobody is putting a gun on your throat to say you must pay everything at once. So we have negotiations, and some people will say you pay in a year. They tell us, they come back to us and say, if I have to pay in a year, the amount that I will be paying is too much because I have other obligations, so please spread it to 2 years. And it is government, so we are trying to be very flexible in that aspect. But as I speak to you, some repayments have been made, and it's still work in progress. Okay, it can only get better. I can say for certain now that because of this loan scheme that is now available in the state, the school dropout rate has reduced drastically, because we're in touch with, especially the schools that are within Bayelsa state. We're in touch with them, and because of what we're doing, they try to give us give the students, especially those who have applied, some time to wait for the board to pay. So before now, students withdraw from schools because of lack of funds to pay their school fees. As a lecturer myself, I've had to see students who have been chased out of classes or exam halls, for that matter, for non-payment of school fees. But that has reduced because government has come up with a program that is taking care of their school fees every year until they graduate. Yes, we have not arrived at the place where we want to be, but it's a work in progress, and I can say that education is one of the key indicators of human capital development. So by the time all these students, because of this loan, are able to go to school, you can be rest assured that in a couple of years, by the time we educate so many people, some of them will go into entrepreneurship, some of them will, because of the skills that they have learned, they'll be doing one thing or the other. So we will have our employment rates will also reduce. It's a futuristic thing. It's not going to happen immediately, but these are signs that we have started seeing, and it is also enhancing academic performance. If you're in school and you don't need to think about payment of school fees, that there is a place where you can go to and get a loan, a soft loan, interest free for that matter, to go to school, you think less about payment of school fees, so you concentrate more on your academics, and it's going to enhance your performance. That's the correlation we are seeing, and I think that it has helped Bayelsa youths a lot, and the future is brighter for the youths and of course for Bayelsa state as a whole. Government cannot employ everybody. Government can only create the enabling environment for businesses to thrive in terms of creating security, and then maybe giving out soft loans where necessary, and then engaging other stakeholders to absorb those who have come out of school and have done well in their various disciplines. I cannot for certain say that there is a policy that says that once you graduate, because you're a loan beneficiary, you're going to have automatic employment. There's nothing like that at the moment. But the thinking of this present administration, the prosperity government, is that people who leave school, should not just think about being employed. They should also think about creating jobs, and so he's very focused on trying to ensure that students who are in school, gain entrepreneurship education. And in most of universities these days, entrepreneurship is becoming almost a compulsory course for some of these universities, and we believe that when they come out of school, given this leverage that they have enjoyed from government, they will be able to think of something creative to do. Creativity is what rules the world now. You are a journalist, a social media influencer. You're doing a job, and I believe you have one or two persons who you are now employed to join you in doing this work. So many more people like that can also come up and do. Fintech is what is reigning now. People can develop apps and begin to make money. So we don't believe that everybody who gets a loan, through the loan scheme will come out and get employed in government. But I know that government has a way of absorbing those who have disciplined themselves and have distinguished themselves in academics. I know in the last administration we had first class graduates given automatic employment to be lecturers and even in civil service. I know such programs are there. You can even in a few months ago, you have seen our governor giving employment to people who have distinguished themselves in either sports or one form or the other. You know about that first class law student. The governor gave a scholarship and automatic employment as a lecturer. So those are schemes that are available. So I think that once you are no longer disturbed, perturbed about how you are going to pay your school fees, and you take your studies very seriously, and you come up with flying colors, why not? Government will always look for a way to take care of your employment and all of that. So that's what I can say for now. But there is no policy statement or any form of arrangement where all these students will be absorbed into the civil service. And I think that is not even feasible anywhere. My story is a very interesting one. I was born in a fishing camp some 50 years ago, far away in Cameroon. And when we came back to Nigeria, I started primary school in the village. It was not all rosy. I went to secondary school, in Mbiama here. At that time, it was a village as well. Even till now, is that not graduated from that village status after all. Then I went to secondary school. After secondary school education, I went into the university, and I came out looking for a job. There were no jobs. I took to taxi driving, and that's the part that most people may not know. I needed to eke out a living. Not that I was from the poorest of homes. My father, was there to assist. My mother was a petty trader who was also assisting me at the time. But today, after my university education, my first degree, I told my parents I was going to take care of the rest by myself. I don't want to stress them anymore. And I struggled through those years doing my master's degree and then my PhD. Now, the story is that it's nothing comes easy. Today I am executive secretary, not because I am the best to occupy this position, but because government at the time I was appointed saw that there is something in me that can propel this office and turn it around. And today it's an envy of so many in the state. Everybody looks up to education, higher education students loan board. You have to work very hard. You have to be dedicated to your studies. I came out as the best graduating student in my department at the time I was graduating from university. not because I went to the best of schools, but because I was determined to make a difference in my environment, and I studied very hard and came out tops in my class. So people who are benefiting from this program, and young people all over in the state, I want to encourage them, to be very dedicated and focused in whatever it is that they put their hands on. Nothing comes easy. Everybody today looks at what comes to Bayelsa State every month. This month I heard that 10 billion came. What have they done with it? Don't look at what is happening there. If you are creative, you also partake of part of that 10 billion that comes into the state every day, every month. So it is people are making money in this state and developing this state with their money, the money they make here. Some are even taking it away. So if we look inwards, and all over the world, the economies of the big nations are driven by medium, small scale entrepreneurs. Those are the ones that are making it happen. So with the current technological drive, everybody is technologically inclined. With your smartphone, you can do magic. You can do a lot of things. So I will encourage students, young ones, to be focused and be creative. Once you are creative, you'll be able to do magic and turn things around for yourself and for your state. So the story is that young people should not think that everything will just happen overnight. There is nothing that can happen overnight. Learn from Dangote. Dangote started from somewhere. Learn from $10. Yes, they may have come out from good homes where they were supported, but there are also stories of people who didn't have anybody, but they started small and gradually they come out to be the big names that we have today. The story of Atiku is well known. Atiku, who was our former vice president, his story is all over the place. Even the Abiolas, they didn't come out from very wealthy homes. So my encouragement is that those who are in school should be dedicated to their studies. Those who are doing one form of business or the other should be serious with what they are doing, and not that you start today and then tomorrow you fold up and you start looking for government appointment. These days everybody is looking for SSA, SA. I want to be SA. I want to be this. I tell people, if you become an SA and you earn 150,000 naira a month, times that by 1 year, you see that what you're making is just 1 point something million naira in the whole year. But if you have something doing, a good business that you put your hand into and get support, so one way or the other, you can get that money in 3 months. What you're looking for in Sokoto is right there inside your Sokoto. So government appointments is not just the only way to go. Not because I am here. I'm a lecturer. But government saw that, okay, it's good, so let him come and handle this. When I'm done here, I'll go back to the classroom. But if I desire to serve, my people say, come and serve me one way or the other. Why not? I will be able to serve. But then, that is not the ultimate. That is not the ultimate. Government, you're not in government. I'm not sure you're in government. But you're doing what you're doing. You can interview presidents tomorrow. You can interview all kinds of people. The people in CNN, they started somewhere. Today they are all over the place interviewing all kinds of people. And that's your work. Be passionate about what you do, and the sky is your limit. Thank you.